Today is the 4th of August, 2022. And we're here in central Germany. In the state of Hesse. And we're on a drive to Allsfeld, and then off to the recycling center as well. We had lots of excitement here today because we had a big fire. No idea what they're doing. Over here to the right, a hay baler, a hay bale machine caught fire and burned the whole. Well, you can't see anything here. It's just a. It was a stubble field, and the stubble caught on fire. They had to make a big effort to put it out because it would have burned up this whole area if it hadn't. And if it got to the trees, of course, it's so hot and so dry. It's 36 degrees right now, Celsius, which I don't know, is 90 something, I guess. Gosh, yeah, it must be pretty close to body temperature, in fact. So everything is exceedingly dry, just like in California and in Oregon and in a number of places on the earth this year. Normally we don't have any, what normally, but in the past we haven't had fire danger because of drought. But what we have right now, we have had hot weather with virtually no rain, just maybe a little sprinkle here and a little sprinkle there in the last almost 3 months. And this is not the way I remember Germany after living here for almost 60 years. There we had, in the 1990s, I remember we had some really, really hot summers, but they didn't start as early as it did this year. I remember one summer when my son Dirk, son number 2, was staying with us, in fact, and it was so hot he decided that he'd sleep on the floor in the cellar. And he woke up one morning, and there was a house rat visiting him. And since he had pet rats anyway, it didn't bother him. The rat didn't seem to be bothered by him, so they shared the cool cellar. That must have been 1995, I guess. This is a very nice road. I don't usually take it because I think it's about 1 kilometer further to Allsfeld, but it depends where you're going in Allsfeld. If you're going on this side of Allsfeld, then of course this is the quicker way. And we're not going on this side of Allsfeld, but I decided to go this way anyway because it's through the forest here, and it's a little cooler and not quite so bright. we've been busy these last weeks, just doing our lives, just getting along. Oh, I didn't realize the car was loaded as heavy as it is, but I noticed when I hit the brakes just now, it didn't want to slow down. That noise you hear is some old kitchen furniture that we're getting rid of. I could have had it picked up, but you have to wait until they get around to coming, and then the trouble is you have to put it out in front of your house, and I don't know if they're going to get there on that day. And so I decided we just broke it all up. I used a big old sledgehammer and just broke it all up to bits, and I'll take it to the recycling center. Some of you know that I had my left knee replaced a few months ago, and I'm very, very pleased with that. It really works perfectly. My knee works perfectly, and it, of course, there's no pain, and it's just really a wonder. So I have two metal hips and a metal knee now. I suppose at some point I'll need the other knee done, but at the moment it seems fine. And I also, some of you, if you do have a rheumatoid arthritis, which many people seem to have, I'm taking a new medicine for it. It's a basically an antihistamine, but it's on a very modern basis. It's a blocker that stops the inflammation, or slows it down anyway, and it's called Rinvoq, Rinvoq. Without wanting to go into any further details, this stuff really does help me. I was taking 10 milligrams of prednisone per day for my rheumatoid arthritis, and with this Rinvoq I've been able to reduce it now to 6 milligrams, and I think I'll be able to go down to 5 milligrams without any problem. So anything that helps me reduce the prednisone amount is good, of course. I haven't noticed any side effects of Rinvoq, but I have to say, it's a new medicine, it's a new pharmaceutical, and it's very expensive. But it might be interesting to some of you, especially if those of you who live in the United States, to know that Rindbock cost here in Germany cost $1,200, equivalent to dollars, U.S. dollars, $1,200 per month. In the United States, it costs $6,000 per month. So if you have any thoughts about that kind of thing, you can consider that. Of course, here with our national health insurance, I don't have to pay anything for it. But anyway, I'm very pleased that it helps me, and I don't have pains in my hands like I had, or in my, not so much, I have pain in my feet, but that's just because they're completely ruined. But the rest of my joints, no pain, and it's good. Some of you have been here with me before. This is Allsfeld, kind of a housing area for the more well-to-do, let's say. I wouldn't want to live here. It's a little like living in a model train layout. It really is. The town is laid out just like you would a model train layout. Houses are very close to one another. The yards are quite small. Of course, for some people that they consider that an advantage because they don't want to have to take care of a lawn or garden or flower beds or whatever. It's a nice area though. It's quiet. The speed limit is 30 kilometers per hour here in this area. That's possible because a lot of the local politicians live here. It's a real nice day, but like I say, 36 degrees is really kind of uncomfortable. I remember the days when I thought I would never want a car with air conditioning. Those were the days I was driving an MG Roadster, of course, or something open, or a Corvette. I wouldn't want to be without air conditioning nowadays. We're in the old 2014 Mercedes B-Class B150, which is our dog car and take things to the recycling center car, and it's a nice car. It's in very good condition. The engine warning light came on recently, and then it went out and came on and went out and came on, and I took it into the shop, and our mechanic put the computer on it, and he said, well, it says it has 30 different errors. So he erased all of the errors, and then the light came on again and went out and came on again. I took it back to him, and he said, well, now it says it only has one error, and that's to do with the I don't have any idea in English because I don't know anything about fuel injection, but whatever it is, the air box for the fuel injector, the butterfly or whatever it is. And He said it costs 300 euros, and I said, well, that's, I mean, if we need to do it, we need to do it. And he said, but there is a sensor before that. I don't know whether it's a lambda sensor or what it is, but anyway, he said there's a sensor before that. Maybe it's that. I'll replace that. It only costs 35 euros, and if that solves the problem, it's good, and if it doesn't, there's nothing lost anyway. Well, he did that, and in fact, that solved the problem apparently, because the engine light never came on again. So that's good. $35 is definitely better than $350. We just went through Allsfeld now, and we're heading off towards Lauterbach. And in front of us, in the white Ford station wagon, is our neighbor, our direct next door neighbor. He's the manager of a big supermarket in Fulda, not in Fulda, in Lauterbach. Well, got rid of all of it. I must have been about, I don't know, maybe 100 kilos or not that much, I guess. But anyway, good to get rid of this stuff that you don't need. It just, we gather up so much stuff. I got rid of a grease gun. You know, sometimes you buy something as simple and primitive as a grease gun, and there are so many things wrong with it, or it works so badly, and yet, since it is nothing but a grease gun, you think, well, you know, I'm not going to buy another one. Well, this grease gun that I had, the spring inside would all of a sudden release, and it would start oozing grease out of all the edges. And not only that, it had a rubber hose with the Zerk grease attachment, and that grease attachment always leaked. It never, you'd give it 2 or 3 pumps, and half of the grease would go in and half would come out the edge around the Zerk fitting. So finally I bought a new one, more expensive one, a one that you can use with one hand. And I finally threw this one away. It was like a celebration. And I thought, I wonder if someone would like to have this this grease gun. So I didn't throw it in the container. I set it next to it, and I figured somebody's going to say, "Oh, look, a perfectly usable grease gun." Sometimes I can be nasty like that. It's still 36 degrees. And here in the car, let's see, it's 32 degrees. In spite of the air conditioning being on full blast. The air is really cold too. I mean, I don't have the fan on full because it'd be so loud then you couldn't hear the important stuff I have to say. Oh, well. So here we are back in Allsfeld, and I think I'm going to stop at Subway, and I'm going to get myself a nice sandwich. I wonder if I should have Philly beef and cheese, or maybe a barbecue rib. Just see what they have without meat. Maybe something with chicken would be good. It's kind of hot to have red meat today. It's not good for my rheumatism to have red meat either, so maybe I will go for chicken. They have a chicken tikka, I think it's an Indian chicken or something. And then there's some Mexican chicken thing. Maybe I'll have that. Anyway, I'm going to have a Subway sandwich for lunch. We're just going to have a sandwich for dinner. It's just too hot. I wanted to make a pizza. I've got some pizza dough I wanted to use, but at this temperature, I just don't feel like turning the oven on in the kitchen, especially since pizza has to be baked at a real high temperature. And so I think we'll just have a sandwich this evening, and I'll have a sandwich for lunch. Maybe I'll make a salad this evening. Oh, I know. I'll make what's it called? Tuna fish salad this evening. Maybe I'll make a California tuna melt. No, I'd have to use the oven for that. No, just have to be a basic tuna salad. Gas is €1.73.9, €1.73 per liter. Must be around $6 a gallon, something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out at home. We were up around $10 a gallon for a while. So, not much going on here at the supermarket. Very few cars in the parking lot, that's for sure. Not much going on over at Subway either. But we're going to give them some business. We'll give them the business. There we are. You get a full view of Subway in Allsfeld, Germany. Back with you in a few minutes. Well, I did go for chicken fajita. And I'm going to pull off into the shade here. I need about half of my sandwich. I'll eat the other half at home. Or maybe I'll give the other half to Karen if she wants it. I'm hoping behind Aldi here, there's going to be some shade. There are some trees over there. Let's see. Yeah, there's some shade there. We'll stop there and I'll eat my sandwich. That's good right here, right under this tree. Oh, super. Not a real good view in front of me, but never mind. I'll be back with you in I'll be back with you when I've had something to eat here. Well, I had wipe my face off. I had my Subway sitting in the shade at the local Aldi. Turn the air conditioning down here a little bit. It got so hot I couldn't sit there any longer, even though I was in the shade. It's 38 degrees now. And we're on our way home. And I probably will just serenade you with some music on the rest of the way. I've already rambled on long enough. No, we don't drive on the right-hand side of the car here in Germany. This cell phone turns the image around on selfies, so it looks like I'm sitting on the right side, but I'm not. Thanks for watching, anyhow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for any comments you might make, and subscribing. Thanks for subscribing.